How you doing, James? How's it going, Peggy? Bruce? DJ? The chest's alright, but it's not great. Just when you mentioned that, I started coughing. Fitting well. Fighting fit. Absolutely fighting fit. Apart from a bit of breathing. But I'm absolutely fit. I feel great. Sunshine, beautiful day. I had a good weekend. Got a bit of activity done. And I made myself a nice cup of tea there for this live, and I spilled it. It spilt, left me about that much in the bottom, so there you go. Anyway, what I was going to talk about, right, was some of the interesting people I've met this weekend, and the rhetoric. It's very generic. It's very, very generic. And I hate to say it. It's one of fear. Fear. People are living in fear. They're terrified. And this weekend's been about, you know, a celebration of you know, of monarchy and stuff like that, and all the stuff that I'm not really interested in. And you know, if you are, good luck to you. It just, I take it or leave it. It doesn't really bother me. I think there's more pressing issues with children in Glasgow and children in the northeast of England being taken to social service departments and taken to clinics suffering from clinical malnutrition, stuff like that, and you know, extreme poverty and abuse and all the rest of it. All of that stuff that is a massive, massive problem in this wealthy country that we live in, this wealthy country that we call Great Britain. There is nothing great about this country today, nothing great at all. And if you disagree with me, that's your prerogative. It's absolutely fine, I respect you for it. But I don't really care for that train of thought. The proof is in the pudding, always, in life. And when you speak to people who are terrified of the impending winter because of the price of electricity, just to shed light in your home during hours of darkness, we are getting something seriously wrong. We are getting something seriously, seriously wrong. I met a lot of nice people at the weekend, and they all said they were all, you know, the conversation leads itself. I never try and lead anyone in conversation. The conversation leads itself. It's just very, very sad when decent, honest living, hard-working, good, you know, fundamentally good people are living in fear, while we've got billions of pounds being spent in one tiny part of the UK down in London to massage the egos of millionaires and billionaires. I became very outspoken when I stopped being in fear of reprisal and anyone's opinion of me. The reason I say that is because no one pays my bills. I got on and off of those flights to Iraq. I got off and on of those flights to West Africa. I got on and off of those flights to, you know, the Netherlands and anywhere else that I ever worked. I lived out a bag. I chose to leave my home and my dogs and my kids and my partner. I chose to do those things and take those risks because I felt that I had to provide, and I have no qualifications. I don't mind saying that. But do you know who else has no qualifications? The leader of this country. So me and him are just the same. We're both stupid. Yeah. He's a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, and his head is so far in the trough. You know, the word pig is an insult to the animal, because the animal is more intelligent than the man. And, you know, horrible, self-indulgent, egotistical megalomaniacs running this country, while there's kids suffering from clinical malnutrition. That's diabolical. That is not what I decided that I was willing to fight for, and at one time in my life I was prepared to die for. I'm not prepared to die for it today. I'm only prepared to die for mine. And I say that, you know, with no shame. It's sad what it's become. However, I did have a good day at no great cost, you know. I just enjoyed what was there. Nature, water, energy, sun, good company with my mate who's been up here for 30 years and built a life for himself up here, and his partner and his kids. And it's a lot of food for thought when you see what a bit of wealth does for an area. There's a bit of wealth up here, and everyone's happy, healthy, and there's a great vibe and there's a great energy, and you don't see much in the way of, although it will be here, you don't see much in the way of poverty. But there will be people struggling. They perhaps just hide it better. The big highlight of the day in the housing schemes in Glasgow is always when the ice cream van comes. And if you live in an area in the UK where you don't have an ice cream van, then you will never have understood housing schemes and, you know, the life of poor families and stuff like that. We're such an ill-divided nation. We're still celebrating, we're still pouring, you know, hundreds of millions of pounds into the wrong things. When the problems are staring us in the face, we're still sending aid to third world countries 40 and 50 years down the line, and these countries still don't have running water or sanitary. It's all lies. All of it is lies. They're lying to you every single day. The charities are lying to you. The owners, the upper echelons of the charities are all lying. They're all millionaires. They've all lined their nests. They've got wealth, eternal wealth forever, from your public donations. If you want to do something for somebody, go and do it directly. Do what I'm doing, right? Gather a pot and go and use it directly, at purpose, at source. Don't hand it over to a third party who's going to abuse it and buy a nice car from it or fit a new kitchen. Don't do that. Don't believe what anybody's telling you. They're lying. These parasites are lying. They massage their way into power to satisfy their indulgences. Don't be any part of that. Do not affiliate to liars and parasites. And stop with the division on football and religion. I don't want to know you if you're a bigot. I don't want to share oxygen with you, because you're sucking the life out of me and you're sucking the life out of society. You have become a cog in their machine, a machine of hate. It's despicable. We're people, we're the common people. We're the working classes. We're not even the middle classes. We're just normal people. We don't know what it is to have luxury like that and wealth like that. We're heading the trough. Let them crack on, right? They're parasitical. Let them crack on. Don't ever become that. Don't ever become it. At any time in my life when I ever did well, I never allowed it to change me. I'm pretty sure everybody that I know would say that about me. We don't have the brains and the capacity to that's the wrong way to put it. We don't have the capacity within us to be like them. We're not capable of it because we're good people fundamentally. We're staunch, solid, working class people. The Scottish and the English people, the real people from the lower end of the spectrum, right? We're the real people. They use the divide and conquer tactics to capitalise for themselves only, them and their kin. The rest of us, they don't care. They don't want you to get out of the starting blocks. They don't want you to do it. I spoke to a really interesting guy today who volunteers his time for young offenders and stuff like that. And he talked about capitalism, and he was very intelligent, very articulate fella. And he was hindered by all sorts of stuff, mainly down to funding and bureaucracy and paperwork and red tape. When it comes to funding for poor people, there shouldn't be red tape, right? To give young kids with families with no money an opportunity to go to a water sports centre or go skiing, right? The only red tape that there should ever be is for adults to access and work with children. That's the only place there should be red tape and criteria and absolutely critical checking of people's histories. We all know what's gone wrong in the past, right? So we don't need educated further in that. But we're squandering billions lighting stupid things up in mountainsides, gas things to celebrate nonsense. It's nonsense. And if I upset you and you don't like it and you unsubscribe and you go elsewhere, that's fine as well. And I'm grateful for all the feedback, but we can't always agree, guys. Sometimes I'm off Facebook. I checked in on it recently just to check a couple of things, and lo and behold, my hunch was right. People that I've had a disagreement with online, that I've known for 30 years, have unfriended me and blocked me, whatever you want to call it, because I'm too outspoken and because they're fans of this or they're fans of that and I'm not. Are we not allowed to debate? Are we not allowed to debate? We're not allowed to disagree anymore. For the sake of argument, we're not all the same. You will support. We spoke this morning about going to school. Me and my mate that's up here living, I've known him for 40 years. Him and his brother. We were brought up together. We were joined at the hip when we were boys. And we'd walk to school in the mornings together, and they would go left and I would go right. They would go to this school and I would go to that school. Absolute division, indoctrination into the divide and conquer from 5 years of age. What a crock of shit. What an absolute crock of shit, dividing 5-year-olds on a book that has got not a single shred of anything in it that is factual. And I don't care who says what about that. That's my opinion. It's my opinion. I've read it back to front. I've read it inside out. I've read the Quran. I've read them all. I'm still waiting for God to come down and help me and forgive me. I'll be waiting a long time. It's not coming. Believe what you like. If it gives you comfort, I don't care. I wish you well. I wish you well with it. And I know this video will upset some people. I get it. Right, I totally get it. But don't be offended. Don't hate me for having a different belief. That's like hating me because my skin's a different colour. It's ridiculous. I've got great friends in certain ethnic communities, the Sikh community being one, that laugh at me for my beliefs and they try and convince me. And I know, and I say to them, well, you do this and you do that, but your God tells you not to do it. And it's ridiculous, right? Everybody is entitled to their belief. You could say at one time, I fought for Queen and country. I absolutely fought for the country that I was born and raised in. Absolutely, 100% I did. But I'm a very different guy now. I'm more educated. At 18, no education, no real understanding, you know, from a small village. You don't know what is going on. I've saw what happens in other countries. I've saw invasions of sovereign countries on lies and deceit. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've witnessed it. I've been there, right? And all of this weekend I've seen so much hatred on social media because some people are big fans of royalty and some are not. I feel sorry for the old Queen Ma. I feel sorry for her. Her sons have brought nothing but shame to her. She's nearly bloody 100 and they can't help themselves but continue to bring shame to her and drag her name through the mud. They should be put against a pillar and shot. It's disgusting. They're parasites. And I don't read all the crap written about her and all the rest of it. I'm not interested in that, right? I don't care. She can't help what she was born into either. But her sons can. And if they're going to drink from the chalice, right, the very least they could do is tuck their fucking heels in and, excuse my French there, I'm getting a wee bit annoyed, right, because I don't like what they stand for, I don't like what they represent. You don't pay strangers £12 million that you've never met for their silence. I've never met them. Where's my 12 million? I want my 12 million. Aye, God bless her. God bless her right enough. She needs a bloody blessing with sons like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. And they're standing there and they're all in at the trough. They've all been investigated for fraudulent receipts of charity money and all of the rest of it. Every one of them's been under investigation. Right? All of them. They've brought her nothing but shame. Love them, hate them, whatever. I'm only talking. It's only my opinion. Don't hate me. I don't hate anybody for their opinion. I just think that beneath the top of the monarchy, the children, they're all disgusting. They're all parasites. They're all reprobates. And one in particular needs to be incarcerated for a long time. Yep. And yet, half of this country this weekend turned a blind eye to that and give them a pass and celebrated it. Right? And that's it. How can you celebrate that? People that exploit vulnerable people. If you're abusing your position, right, anyway, you need exploited for it and you need put against the wall. I'm Old Testament, guys, right? Not everybody's going to agree with me. There's a modern way of thinking and I'm a dinosaur. And I know I'm a dinosaur. I'm Old Testament. If you're interfering with children, capital punishment is for you. Not third and fourth and fifth and sixth offences on a tag. Capital punishment. And that's it. I don't care. That's the bottom line of it. I've been involved in exposing abuse. Some of you will know that about me. It is rife and it is everywhere. And it is in every single town, village, city and street in this country, up and down the length. There are millions of abusers out there online every single day getting a pass, while young guys are incarcerated in prison doing 2-year sentences for selling a bit of dope. And the paedophiles are walking the streets in tags. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And yet, half of this country this weekend is all for a side that suck the country dry, that 1% of elitists that live for free and all the rest of it, okay? And people are celebrating them. And I'm not just talking about the monarchy, I'm talking about all of them. Standing giving applause to the parasites, the parliament parasites, walking in and out of £1 billion buildings, lining the streets of Whitehall to clap these blood-sucking vampires. Are you nuts? These people must be nuts. You must be crackers. And this is not my usual video. This is not my usual chat. I've been riled a wee bit in the past couple of hours, and when I got back here tonight, watching some stuff online and seeing people turning a blind eye and giving a pass to abusers. Never give an abuser a pass, right? There is ritualistic abuse going on in this country, and people are giving it a pass because the sun's shining and the bubbly's flowing and everybody's happy, right? I've got a false tooth, by the way, it just fell out. Can you tell what one it is? Bet you can't. Happened in a fight when I was about 17. I get chinned. I was talking when I should have been listening. Guys, listen, by the way, I'll probably delete this video tonight because I don't really want it in the channel, but I have to air it. I have to air it because there's something seriously wrong today because the sun's shining, everybody's going nuts. What's up with people? I probably will delete this because even though I respect other people's views and I expect equally that in return, I still don't like upsetting people. I still don't like upsetting people. We can't be supporting abusers, guys. We can't be. People need to stand together. Us down at the bottom of the ladder that work all our days with nothing. I can't even afford a dentist. I'm disappointed with Great Britain today, and that's not a slighting, you know, the Queen Mother or anything like that. It's not the Queen. It's not a slighting her. It's not even about her. It's about the whole. It's about us. It's about us. We're turning a blind eye and we're celebrating because it's a lovely weekend and everybody's drunk and everybody's got a barbecue and a silly hat on waving a flag. People are terrified, living in poverty, terrified of the winter coming. People can't eat. If it wasn't for farm foods and B&M and home bargains, people wouldn't be able to put food in their fridge. Tell me I'm lying and show me the proof. Correct me in anything, but show me the proof. Don't just point fingers and slander me. I'll show you the proof. I'll show you any amount of proof. I'll show you thousands and thousands of documents of children with malnutrition in this country in 2022. Children with obesity, clinical obesity, children with their dental that's that bad that they've had to have all their teeth removed because they're not getting any nutrients and minerals in their diets. Shit, well, honestly. I don't normally swear on this channel, so I apologise for that. That's not me. I do swear, but I try not to swear here. However, people need to wake up. I've not checked the comments, let me see. Rickets, that's an old word, James, but you're correct. Please don't delete this. Viva la revolution. There'll never be a revolution, no one's got the bottle for it, sadly. Brian's asking me about the Vatican. I think the Vatican's a disgusting organisation, mate. By birth, I'm a Roman Catholic, only by birth. Couldn't care less about any of it. And I think that they harbour paedophiles 10 to the 1,000. I know that there's been like 20,000 priests convicted, and all they do is move them to church as a punishment. So no, listen, right across the board, they've got a horrific history of abuse, ritualistic, satanic abuse of young men in particular. in the priesthood. Absolutely. I know a lot about it. I know an awful lot about it. I'm well read in the subject. If you've ever seen a great film with Michael Keaton, it's called Spotlight. It's about the Boston Globe newspaper, and they discovered some archive material, and basically they highlighted what was going on in America and Boston with the churches. Now, somebody's mentioned Nazareth House. I know about all the abuse in Ireland. I know about it all. I've read about it all extensively. All the graves. I know about it all. I've got great contacts. The film Spotlight never got enough critique. That film should be shown. It should be shown in school. It should be shown to children. That film should be global. An incredible film, incredible work from investigative journalists that basically put that out there, and they were getting told, you know, you can't do this, you can't go against the church, and they went against the church, and they showed it for what it was. It was an empire built on abuse and theft. I hate to say it, that'll upset some people in my family and all the rest of it, but I'm fine with that as well, because I'm a truth speaker today, and I wasn't always, but today I'm a free speaker, and I'm a free speaker and a free thinker, and I don't fear reprisal. I tell you this regularly. I don't fear reprisal or finger pointing or slander or any of it. Why would I? Who am I going to be scared from? Somebody waving a finger at me? Try again. Not scared from anybody. Not scared from any authority in this country. Uniform, badge, nothing. Feel absolutely, utterly fearless. I can say that with every moral fibre in my body. I have no fear of anything anymore. Good place to be. Took me a long time to get here. That's why I can call it out, and I can take the flak, and I can take the heat, and I can take the lies and all the venomous bile written about me online when I was exposing trafficking gangs in Glasgow and all the rest of it. And some of you won't have heard me talk like this on the channel so far, and this will probably be a one-off in the subject. But there's a lot going on this weekend, you know. There's a family in Glasgow still seeking justice for their son, and that's the Bonner family from the East End, and another family for justice for Johnny as well. Very, 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 very bizarre cases in Glasgow, high profile cases. Police Scotland have failed those families miserably. Police Scotland are good at failing working class families. That's a fact. Police Scotland hate free speech, and they hate free thinkers like me, because I fall outside the fear banner. I don't come under the banner of fear. I won't be under it. So what are they going to do? What's anyone going to do? If people would wake up and understand that you're policed by consent, you're policed by consent. Don't consent. Don't consent to any of it. Live as you mean to live. Do no wrong to others. Live under the common law. And decline representation by overpaid pigs. Let me check some. Yeah, Noah's mum over in Northern Ireland. Horrific. She's an incredible woman. She's on the James English podcast. Absolutely incredible woman. Deserves some justice, but most importantly, she deserves some answers, and she's not had any yet. Yeah, Brian, I know YouTube don't follow the free speech philosophy. I get that, mate. But I'm fine with that as well, Brian. I'm absolutely fine with it, mate. I've had my Facebook, what I've had for 10 or 12 years, blocked and deleted for free speech. So YouTube, if they're the same, so be it, Brian. Thank you, Danielle. Yeah, Noah in Ireland's a very strange case, James, very strange. That boy never went down that tunnel. No boy at that age would go down a storm drain for 2 kilometres. The fear would overcome them in the first 10 or 20 metres. Yeah, working men going to food banks, it's all wrong. Spotlight is on YouTube. Get it watched, guys. Claire Hottinger saying that it's £3 on YouTube. It's an incredible film. An incredible film. Yeah, Nazareth House spent 5 million in an extension. You know, I've priced extensions in the past and they never came to 5 million. Look into Bernardo's in Glasgow as well and what they own and what they rent. Bernardo's, they need looking at. Bernardo's. There's a lot of interesting comments, guys. Hopefully I've not upset anybody, but if I have, so be it. Yeah, I've never understood the worshipping of the religious thing, because you only really need to look into it to see that the King James Bible is completely and utterly fantasy. I always thought the Vatican were the political party of the Italian mafia, the La Cosa Nostra. So I just thought I would get something off my chest, and you know, I will say that I don't set out to upset, but Danny Christie, my opinion is that I like opinions on most matters. Danny. Divide and conquer. What's your thoughts on people that use weapons? Depends what situation you're in. I was paid to use weapons in the Royal Marines, so I suppose that's a very different type of threat. I would love if everybody would just fight with their fists, you know, bruise his heel. I'm not a fan of knives. Not a fan of knives at all, never have been. Not a fan of the men that carry them, never have been. I've got great respect for anyone that can go toe to toe with another man. And I'm not a fan of weapons really at all. People make their choices in the spur of the moment, and then some have to live with the aftermath. The knife crime in London's off the scale. There's a guy called Terry Ellis on Facebook. Terry's doing great work. Terry was an armed robber, now doing great things in the community for young guys, keeping them away from crime and stuff. Shout out to Terry Ellis. He's an interesting fella. He's definitely doing it for the right reasons. He's not doing it for publicity. He's a genuine bloke. So aye, that was a bit of a rant there, guys. I hate the fact that those in power have been able to divide us so easily, really without trying. It's pretty sad, like. It's pretty sad. I don't really like religion at all. It's been the cause of every war since time began. Greed, imperialism, theft, mineral theft, we're still seeing it in a massive scale. So, one of those days, very thought-provoking day, enjoyable, but I had a lot to think about tonight when I eventually sat down and had a cup of chai. I don't think we should be celebrating in this country. That's my message today. I don't think we should be celebrating anything. I think we should be fixing the problems properly once and for all. We should be rebalancing the wealth. We should be increasing output, manufacturing output, getting young people trained up properly again, getting production lines working again, getting infrastructure working again, start making stuff again, stop relying on China. I think we've just given it all away far too easy. And now young guys, there's no work for anybody. The easy option is the drugs game and criminality and all the rest of it. That only leads to long prison sentences. There's that tooth fell out again. It's not really, it's just a wee bit loose. But yeah. Try to remember the guy's name that actually did that, but I can't remember. I got him back, obviously. Many moons ago. Many moons ago. We don't have any assets, mince and totties. We've got no assets, we've got nothing left. All our forestry is owned by China, by timber mills in China. All our coal goes abroad. Do you know that we've got as much coal as anywhere in the world, right? And yet we buy it all in from Poland. Do you know that we cut forestry in this country, strap it onto tankers, ship it to the Far East where it's milled and it's returned to us and sold here at profit? Do you know that? How can that be profitable? We haven't been very bright the past couple of decades. We've allowed ourselves to be robbed blind. Anyway, guys, let's leave it on a good note. Don't trust anybody with your kids. Don't give them an opportunity. There's vampires everywhere. Get out, get some sunshine into you, get some good food into you. Be happy, be courteous. Remember your manners. Remember to smile. Remember to breathe properly. Focus all your energy in the right direction. Step away from the darkness and head towards the light all the time. DC, I'll be seeing you shortly. Right, guys, we'll leave it there. Said enough. Probably lost 100 subscribers tonight. The Suited Clowns, James, that was a great poem. Yeah, I remember writing that. I'll try and dig it out and read it to you. Charlie, how you doing? Where you at? Charlie, I've got something for you. Watch and I'll show you. Oh. Let me see. Oh. I made you a wee thing, Charlie, for your van. 2 secs. 2 secs till I grab it. I'll just plop this here in my wee yard. My wee yardie. Right, I'm back. Here you go, Charlie. It's a nice bit of slate. Charlie Fleeting, out and about. Right, guys. Don't overthink it. It's just a bit of a rant. Okay? It's a lovely night. Enjoy yourselves. Take no prisoners. Out and about. Cheers, guys.